Morning, my name is Don Reeves. I am Senior Vice President of Outcomes at Itron, and I'm delighted to welcome here two colleagues from the industry, colleague Bilal from Microsoft and Matt from Schneider Electric. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Sure, thank you, Don, for having us. Bilal Khursheed, I lead Microsoft's power utility business globally. I get the opportunity to work with utilities all around the world, and of course in tight partnership with both Schneider and Itron. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hello, my name is Matt Schnugg. I am the Chief Product Officer at Schneider Electric's Digital Grid. This business is inclusive of our ArcFM GIS business, our ADMS business, and our DERMS business as well. We are very happy to be here and sitting with two various team strategic partners, and very excited about this conversation.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you both for being here. So there was a press release that came out earlier this week about a partnership between our three companies. Can you talk a little bit about what it means to you, kind of what was in that press release and why it's meaningful? Matt, start with you.
Yeah, thank you. It was very meaningful for us. I think more and more what we are recognizing at Schneider Electric, and this is something that we've talked about a little bit as well, is that there's just an ecosystem approach that our customers are taking to answering solutions that they have and they want to go and drive. And so when we think about our customers' ecosystem, two of the biggest players in it are Itron and Microsoft. And so what we want to do is find ways to work together more deliberately to make sure that these solutions are deployed in a cohesive manner and that they can scale and they can solve customer problems as quickly as possible.
Great. Bilal, how do you think about this?
Well, I think Matt said it very well. To me, it's highly impactful. It's monumental in terms of outcomes for the industry, broadly speaking. When we have two industry giants with decades of knowledge across the OT space and what's brought into the organization in terms of working with customers in the utility industry and building that into the platform and building a unified central platform in essence that's going to really build the use cases around situational awareness, around operating low voltage networks more efficiently, and then the impact of customers. So it's truly a transformative partnership. I think it's a very unique one. It's what's getting me excited about DistribuTech this year here in Dallas. And like I said earlier, this is truly going to be impactful and transformative for the industry.
Yeah, and certainly I second that. As I think about some of our key challenges and what we hear from our customers, it's really around how do they translate the technology that each of us can provide into value as rapidly as possible, and how do we remove those roadblocks, and how do we do so in a way that's going to guarantee the integrity of the solution, the security of the solution, the robustness of the solution. And really, I think us coming together really helps facilitate all that. Has there been any initial customer reaction to the announcement?
I think that the recognition that titans in the industry are working together is always a great sign for customers, especially when they think about how they are going to go and build their next generation of a modern IT environment. I mean, it is such an exciting time for them, and for us to come together proactively is something that we feel like is a game changer for our customers. And so, I think just leveraging of all of the technologies that we've independently built and brought together by Microsoft and the partnerships that we've talked about is a great manifestation of what technology can do in a more modern OT environment.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, times have changed. I think everybody in the conference floor and we all agree that the tools of yesterday and how we architected for our energy system for yesterday are not going to work for the grid of tomorrow. Having siloed systems across OT that are challenges around integration, high support costs, the high level of customizations that exist across the ecosystem today. And customers want a interoperable ecosystem that plugs and plays together, and having this partnership at this level with kind of Microsoft stitching these elements from a cloud perspective, from a data integration perspective, and interoperability perspective drives that unification that customers are looking for. Right? The industry needs more of a centralized viewpoint or a centralized narrative, I'll call it, to an extent, because it's no longer about managing your distribution system. It's about the entire value chain across the low voltage system and then customer engagement. So the tools and solutions and technologies that Itron is so well known for in industry, merging that with what Schneider brings to the market around ADMS and DERMS and VPP and building that unified central ecosystem is, this is how you unlock AI at scale, right? I mean, you get the data right, you get the solutions right. What comes naturally after that is those net new use cases around higher degrees of grid efficiency and new customer outcomes as well.
So maybe let's talk about a couple of the use cases that have you most excited. I know on our side, certainly we've been out talking a lot about the challenge of level 2 EV charging at home and how that can present a challenge to the end consumer if they have an older electrical panel that would otherwise require to be upgraded if there weren't an alternative solution. It could also require the service transformer to be upgraded. So that's, I know, one interesting use case, but I know there's many others. Kind of what do you see as most compelling to your customer base?
It's a great question. So right now, I think it would be a complete oversight if we didn't start thinking a little bit more about major events, weather-induced events, fires, floods, and the precision of data that we have now and our ability to take distributed intelligence and understand the true impact to what is happening in the grid in real time is an incredibly powerful and incredibly important tool today as we work with our utility customers to prevent fires, and then heaven forbid if a fire event or a flood event had happened, making sure that they are best equipped to make the best decisions in real time.
Yeah. We simply can no longer afford to be reactive, right? We have to be proactive in terms of becoming much better in determining where there may be potential risk around outages, where there may be potential risk of low customer engagement, for example. But fully agree with you, Matt, on that one. The other element that really excites me is around what this enables around just demand response strategies and demand response use cases. I mean, there's a whole stack that we can get into, but there's an absolute need to change how utilities interact with customers, and that needs to be very fluid, very dynamic. We've traditionally operated in a very stable environment, and we need to architect for instability. And this partnership is a great example of how we enable that for industry.
Yeah, I think the other key theme I've heard is really around being able to justify the deferral of additional capital investment. That, if you look at the grid and you say, well, keep building the grid the way we have been, it could be billions and billions of dollars that the utilities don't have, that consumers don't want to have to go pay for.
Yep.
And if we can find a way to, first off, use the dollars that are there more intelligently, and then defer spending additional dollars if at all possible, that certainly seems to be resonating across the board.
We hear the term flexibility being tossed around left, right, and center across industry. This right here is a perfect example of that, right? It's truly enabling to utility operators and asset operators to be hyper efficient when it comes to grid operations and when it comes to ensuring that every electron is being used most efficiently. And through that, like you mentioned, is we need to get a lot smarter around how we plan for new capital work. And this helps kind of mitigate some of those 100%. New additions. Transmission lines take time to build. Permitting takes a while. This is value that you can unlock today.
The paradigms have shifted. Yeah. And so as we try to navigate what this future looks like, digitization and solid IT infrastructure and partnerships are going to be a way that our utilities can reduce their capital expenditure to go and embrace the new nature of what this grid looks like. And so we're really excited to be in as dynamic an environment with as dynamic of partners here to really truly lead in many ways into the future for this.
The other element to me, Don, is what this does to really bolster cyber defenses for utility operators as well. Right, through the mass adoption of DERs, through all the behind the meter devices and smart appliances and whatnot, we're creating a lot more threat vectors for bad actors to intrude into the energy system. And by the partnership with Microsoft around being global leaders around cybersecurity and fortifying those cyber defenses across all of those endpoints is something that's really needed for the industry. I think a lot of folks are struggling around how to approach that, but this really unlocks those new cyber capabilities to really protect and secure the entire ecosystem.
That type of resiliency is critical, and we think that through more distributed energy resource management, that is one way that we can go and drive a bit more redundancy when it comes to threats to critical infrastructure. Your point on reducing the surface area by reducing the number of vendors that could be attacked in a customer's ecosystem is another good one, particularly with vendors that they do choose that are as focused on security and investment into future forward-looking threat detection. It's a really compelling value proposition because it allows our customers to focus on what they do best, and that's keep the lights on, keep people safe, and really drive the most efficient and available means of energy as they can.
All right. Well, you know what? I look forward to being together again a year from now.
Yes.
And we can talk about hopefully how some customers have deployed what we've built and are starting to realize its benefits and see the capabilities unlocked. So really appreciate the time, Matt, Bilal.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.